she really loved her children, and she was a really good mother when she was healthy. She was a wonderful mother, and we were her life. Her husband was her ideal, her man in her life who she loved, and her home was her place of refuge. I had compassion on her because she lost her friends, she lost her home, she lost everything. So really, even though she was expressing herself so negatively and fearfully towards me and angrily towards me, I knew deep down inside that she was hurting so bad. Her dreams were shattered. Her whole life was shattered. And I couldn't help but know that she never would have been this way if this horrible tragedy didn't happen to her. I think that the thing that I had that my sister did not have is I have the memories of the good life. We had a very joy-filled household where there was love, there was happiness, there was song. My father loved to sing. He used to dance around in the living room with me. My mother too. She was all dressed pretty for when my father came home from work, and they were the most loving couple. It was just kind of like, I don't know, a fairy tale-ish type life. I remember just laying on the back seat crying and just saying, "Daddy, how could you have left me with her? How could you have left me? How could you have died?" I was left with this woman who was not my mother. I felt like I lost both parents. During the night, I would hear him gasping for air, and my bedroom was adjacent to their bedroom, and I would hear her calling out his name, "Vincent," in panic mode, because he would stop breathing. He would have his diaphragm would collapse. Doctors would come and check on him. They basically signed him with the police department that came into a nursing home against her will, which was very devastating for her because she wanted to be there with him. She wanted to take care of him. Her behavior was completely erratic, screaming and crying and yelling all the time, up almost all night long, extreme paranoia. All the blinds were pulled down in the house, doors were locked. We were not permitted to watch TV because she said that radio waves were going to come out of the TV at us and people were going to, I guess, see us. But my sister and I kind of just survived. That's cute. Oh, I was in trouble there. That face I remember. My mother got mad. Oh my gosh.
That is so cute.
My sister and I learned to study her facial expressions, her body language. Even before she would speak, we would know exactly what mood she was in. It was completely untreated and got, really, really bad. Her eyes would look racy. Her face would look tense. Her motions would be abrupt. And of course, then the outbursts would start happening. I had to be really careful about what words you said, because there were certain words that were triggers to her that would trigger a manic response.
We also learned how to get her out of some moods so that we could have a normal life, switch the subject, bring her somewhere, take her out to eat.
Or trying to say, "Oh, Mom, you want to do this? Oh, Mom, you want to do that?" Something that we knew that she liked. Maybe it was just drawing pictures because our realm was really small to work with.
We had to learn how to, almost like try to handle in a proper way her mood swings. That was our life, was encouraging her to help her through her day. when she did a lot of sewing, to take her dresses and tell her how much we loved them, and had funny, necklines and all crazy stuff. My sister used to wear it all around the house while she was here so that she knew that we appreciated what she did, that that's what she could offer.
I think that one of my deepest pains was that I could not fix her. And I wanted so much to fix her. I wanted her to be happy.
Hey Mom, we're wishing you a harvest of fun for your birthday.
And look at the
love, with love, Lois and John.
Look at the harvest.
And the harvest. Wow. Oh, cool. Oh my gosh, that's really great.
So it was very frustrating, almost feeling like what you're doing doesn't have any meaning. You're trying so hard to make that person happy. And I couldn't bring her the joy that she wanted and she needed. She would say to me over and over again, my life is ended after your dad died.
We were just prisoners in that house with her, who was basically she acted like a mad woman. We couldn't talk to each other. We played cards.
We played cards without talking.
I know. She would turn Black Magic Woman on her record player and play it day and night, the same song over and over and over again. And she would rant and go walking back and forth in the house, pacing all night long, yelling out loud to police and doctors and family members and people that tried to kill him. And
yeah, the Black Magic Woman, I hear that song now and it gives you the creeps just hearing it.
She wanted to cast spells on people, remember? Do you remember some of the
I
words?
that.
Like, she wanted to make them pay, and, the bitterness and the anger, she wanted to get back, and she'd almost yell things to the person that wasn't there.
That wasn't there. Well,
Yeah.
none of them were ever there.
Remember the place with the roaches?
Oh, yeah. Which one was that? There was a couple of them.
Like when you turn the light on and everything's scattered off of the countertops.
Oh, well, that was definitely her apartment in Riverhead. Was like that all the time.
I mean, here, I was going through garbage pails, looking for cigarette butts from my mother, because she would run out of money. It was the only thing that would calm her down, is if she had her cigarettes. She needed an outlet, and I was the only outlet. So I just became her punching bag. We didn't even have beds. We had mattresses on the floor that we had picked up out of a garbage bin somewhere that someone was throwing out. My sister and I slept in tents, and that was the only place where we were allowed to sleep.
My sister and I were always a team. We were always a team. Whether she was there or not, we were a team.
I visualized her coming into the room with a knife and try to kill me, because she had said that she would kill me before anyone ever had me. So that thought would be in my mind that she would do that. And I was afraid of that. I was afraid of what she would do to me and afraid of what she'd do to my sister. In one of her tirades, because it's all in her mind. Like, nobody was physically doing anything to her at that time, but her mind was tormented. And in the tirade, she could easily do something like that, in my mind. I started reading and checking to see if there was something that I could figure out was wrong. And I finally came across manic depression. We always had to guard everything we said, everything we did.
Everything we felt. All of our feelings were not to be talked about.
No.
Never talk about your feelings. I mean, or what you went through.
No.
Or what you were feeling. It was always just concentrate on her.
I was so happy to go to school, but when she was there on the step
In her nightgown. And watch us go from class to class.
Making sure nobody would take us.
Which was so utterly humiliating. All the kids knew, that's Mary's mom, that's Lois's mom. That it caused me to be very shy and withdrawn. I remember once in Montauk getting sick. I was sick, and I remember getting up and going into the bathroom and, oh, feel better. You don't want to stay home. You definitely don't want to stay home with mom all day long. So feel better. Got ice. And I put ice in my mouth so that when she put the thermometer in my mouth, it wouldn't be as high as it was, because I just did not want to have to stay home all day long with my mom.
I spent most of my childhood humiliated. I felt like it affected me my whole life.
My mom used to do kooky things like bring us to the bar in her pajamas. The whole thing was ridiculous. We had no control over where to go, what to do.
I was sitting at a table and this guy came over and he started talking to me. He seemed like he was really nice, what do I know? I was 13, but then he kisses me. He asked if, we're going to take a walk. And I asked my mother if I could take a walk with him.
My mom okayed it, which probably was very not so smart.
So we climbed down this cliff and we go down by the beach. Of course it was nighttime, we're hearing the waves, and I kind of felt like it was really cool and like romantic.
And we didn't hear from her for hours.
He just like ripped all my clothes off and started attacking me sexually. I just wanted to run. My heart started pounding really fast. I wanted to get out of there. He was holding me down, moving and kicking and doing everything I could to get away from him. He became stronger and stronger the more I tried. He threatened me like, I'll hurt you if you don't stop. I had already slit open my elbow, big gash, probably needed stitches. I was panting, I was sweating. Your whole being wants to get away. You never realize how strong a man is. I had to use every ounce of strength within me to climb up a cliff that I couldn't even see. And I got halfway up and I felt him come up behind me and grab me. It was like something an animal would do to you, or something like. This thing is faster than you, stronger than you, and could get at you in its clutches easier than what you can run. And I thought, what am I going to tell her? I don't know what to tell her, because I can't really tell her the whole story, because she's going to start freaking out, and then she's going to like start taking it out on me.
But mom wasn't the person to talk to about that. All I know is that when my mom came back to the hotel that night with my sister told me what had happened.
My fear was not everything else. It was how my mother was going to treat me, how much worse she was going to treat me because of it. Just a little bit of what I did tell her did make it worse. God was my only source that I had to talk to.
Her mom didn't like me very much. In fact, she didn't like me at all. Finding out somehow that my dad was in law enforcement, she was 16. We started a covert relationship. She lived at this motel. I would drive down there and I would blow my wolf whistle in the car.
And I pretended I had to go do something and I snuck out. Well, she caught me talking to him and she beat me up. And she literally, I had bruises all over my legs, and she smacked me across the face with a ring, and the ring hit my nose. I thought it was broken.
In the corridor of the hotel was like a Coke machine. Drove over there one day and I pick up this note and she was saying, "I'm leaving, I love you very much.
I thought I would never see him again.
I'm gonna miss you. I don't know where I'm going, but just remember I'll always love you." And that was it. Even if she goes on with her life, I'll find out that, oh. And I'll just so I know she's okay, you know. I must have got a letter or something that she was in this area in Bayport, New York, which was about 70 miles away from me. I found these, it was multiple apartments. It was a big complex. So I'll just drive through, and every so often I would blow this whistle. And, I'd be up and down going like, all right, well, she might not even be here. It's, and I don't even know if she could hear it. And then I was about to leave and I went down this last road. I blow it and then and then all of a sudden I see her, running out of the house to, in the street. And I remember it just was like, I can't believe I actually found her. Whatever it is that you want, you have to fight for.
I know when my sister and John were seeing each other, and John used to come to the window so that they could see each other and talk to each other, I did think about jumping out the window, but I just didn't think I was going to get far enough.
And that's when my mother decided to kick me out. You would think I would have been thrilled because my dream was to be 18. I wanted to be 18 to get away from the situation, but then I didn't want to leave either. And my sister was like sitting on the bed watching me pack my things up, and I never forgot it. It was the most horrible thing. My heart just broke. I couldn't experience the joy of escaping. I wanted to. I wanted to experience the joy of leaving, but I couldn't to feel that way because my sister was going to be there.
She slammed the door, locked it, and that was like the end.
That was one of the worst days of my life.
Yeah.
To leave. Didn't want to leave you.
I know. And I knew that you didn't want to leave me.
Yeah.
Because we both wanted to be there for each other while we go through hell.
Totally. Well, misery likes company, right? It was like a mental trip that even on my own honeymoon, I didn't want to enjoy myself too much because I felt like Mom wasn't enjoying herself.
I was definitely the one that was very obligatory. I knew what I had to do. I knew I had to keep her safe. I had to take care of her. I had to see her 3-4 times a week, call her all during the week. And, that was very, very hard because after a while, it was hard to keep up the pace. Yeah. When it was really terrible, my sister would bail us out. That's what I say. We worked together on this. It was a tag team. It was a tag team. Can you do it this week?
It's one of my biggest prayers that she would not end up in a nursing home.
As long as I live and I didn't rip the head.
She was so petrified of doctors that I knew it would torture her. I could almost see the fear in her eyes when I thought of it.
We both felt that she had suffered most of her life, and that whenever the time came, whenever that was, we did not want her to suffer when she died.
Instead of grieving what I didn't have, I will have them with my family. I will have them with my children. So I really learned from her very valuable lessons of how to see inside the person, right? And see where they're coming from.
To be more compassionate towards people in pain.
And with our mother, it was an inner problem. It wasn't that she chose to be that way. She didn't choose it. It's helped us to kind of grow in learning how to treat others the way we weren't treated.
If you continually deal with someone who's always hurting you over and over again, only God can help you to see them as He sees them.
I learned, one of the biggest lessons I learned from Mom in the positive way is I learned how to love the unlovely. And forget about the outward appearance, that there's a person inside who can really be beautiful.
I know, we're both so young and we're both like...
Honestly, we loved her.
Yeah.
We really loved
Yes,
her.
we did. Yeah.
We really loved her. In fact, I still miss her. I would save up things, little tidbits to tell her, just so that she'd be happy. Yep. It was such a loss. It was such a loss to not have her there anymore. She sit with my kids and draw pictures and do artwork, and I honestly in my heart miss her. I'm sad that she didn't get to see my grandchildren that were twins. Yes. She didn't know how to function and how to go forward, but I give her credit because she didn't try to kill herself. She didn't give up. Even though her mind was so tormented, she still had the responsibility of these children in her mind. I really respected her for that.
When she did die, she died of an aneurysm, and we found out that aneurysms are quick and that she might not have even known that she was dying. I will be so thankful she died on Thanksgiving Day. How much more can we say, thank you, Lord? No more suffering mentally, physically.
I was so grateful to God that she died the way she did. Dear Mom, it's been 17 years since your death, and I really haven't dealt with the loss of you. I didn't have to protect you anymore. All of a sudden, I didn't have to try to include you in something that we were doing and hope it would work out. The tragedy of your broken dreams broke my heart. I am sad you never met my daughter's husbands, and most of all, my beautiful grandchildren. Many times I would feel guilty for even being happy when you weren't.
I have a desire to encourage and help others out of their pain and love them through the hard times. The deep sorrow you suffered your whole life has helped me to understand others and want to be there for them.
You loved children so much and always wanted more. Most of all, you talked about wanting twins. My twin granddaughters were born on your birthday. I wish you could have seen them. It would have been your greatest joy. I miss you. I miss your creativity, how you could just make something out of nothing. I saw you in me when I made my granddaughters clothes for their dolls. When I think of you, I remember a beautiful person, the one who loved completely with a strong commitment to her family. Those qualities are in me, and I thank you for them.
Now I thank God, most of all, that you, I believe, are in His presence, and in His presence is fullness of joy.
Finally, the pain has ceased for you. I hold on to the memory of who you really were inside. Because of you, I can see others from the inside out. You will always be dear to my heart, and I will always love you. Lois.